Alright guys, what is up? It is Retro Freak here. We left off last week with pulling a couple of different parts off, finding out that the motor mounts were attached to the foot pegs and stuff like that. So today I think our goal is to get this motor out of this bike. That's what I think we're going to try to do. All we really got left is we got to disconnect this drive shaft and then hope I don't break my back trying to get it out of here. I know that's not going to be a light engine. It's probably a couple 100 pounds at least. We'll see what happens. Let's get it done. Alright, so we got the sucker lifted up. We've got the, this is all detached here. I can probably take this guy right here and show you. Let's get some leverage in there. The engine's ready to come out. So what I'm finding is there's an oil cooler on this. So we got to remove those lines from the oil cooler, which is going to make a huge mess. So I'm going to pull this jack out from underneath, and we're going to put, I hope this guy will fit. I don't know if it will. Oh, it should fit fine. It'll be all right. So we're going to put that underneath there, and then we're going to start pulling all that apart. And I might just take the filter cap like right off. That'll give me a few more inches of clearance to get this motor out of here. The more I'm looking at this, like the more I'm realizing there are almost 100% some oil leaks here. So I'm going to find the oil leaks, and we might, I don't really want to, but we might rebuild this motor. Or I might just find another motor from an XS instead of a XJ. The XS doesn't have the YX system, so it's a little bit easier to manipulate. All right, I'm gonna get back to it. All right, so discovery, and I think it's gonna require us to clean out the oil pan at minimum. Nothing but gasoline came out of these oil cooler lines. So I'm gonna replace these lines because they're probably toast. That filter is going to need to be replaced. So what causes that is like valve. There's a little valve next to your needle in your carburetor. When it gets stuck open, or the needle doesn't set correctly, fuel will just keep flowing. And you can see that's gasoline coming out of there. Like, it's not good. But that must be what was happening with these guys here. I've been doing some research, and I think I might attempt to do a single carb on this. Just trying to figure out where everything would sit. If I get a four-wheeler carb, I can probably set it right here, build the manifold there. That would probably work. I could also get a VW carb that's a downdraft and put it right here and build the manifold to go upwards. It's a couple of different ideas. What do you guys think? Comment below. Get creative. Let's get the rest of this thing off. I'm hoping I did this fast enough. Yeah, you can see. That is straight up the viscosity, however the heck you say that, of water. Yeah, you can see the gasoline in it. Whew! Well, it's a good thing we checked that out. I wasn't even gonna take this off. Like I was just gonna pull the motor out the way it was, but I'm really glad that I decided to make things easier on myself. So we'll let that drain real good, and then we'll get to getting the motor in a position where it can come out of the bike. Yeah, we're going to pull that oil pan off. We're going to clean everything real good. And this shouldn't continue to happen, but like seeing that makes me want to investigate further. So I'm thinking about pulling the top end apart too, just to make sure that everything's good. All right, well, I'm going to sit down for a minute, let that drain for a while, and then we'll get back to it. All right, so I thought I'd kind of stop in the middle of what I'm doing here. I don't like to muscle things. I like to just kind of use leverage and get them out. I'm gonna have to remove the horns. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have to do that, but I'll have to remove the horns and the oil cooler. There's a little bracket back there that's catching on the way out. What I've done, got a couple of blocks of wood on a little jack here, pressing up against the bottom and just kind of teeter-tottering the motor out. And right now it's being supported barely right there, and like it's very easy to move right now. Like I can move this very easily. Once it gets out, I'm gonna have to use some power. I'm thinking I might run to Home Depot and get like a little dolly to put it on or something, but we're gonna go ahead and pull the horns out of here, get those out, and then finish pulling the motor. All right, so engine's pretty much out. As I was getting ready to deadlift it, I noticed this zip tied wire here. So I'm just gonna, it just connects from one end of the motor to the other. So I'm just gonna cut the zip tie. I'm pretty sure we're completely free. Aside from that. So once that wire is cut, it's just a deadlift to the floor. I should probably just go and pick up a little dolly or something from the store. But once the motor's out, that's it for today. I'm probably not going to go too much further. But we're getting there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the engine is out. Pumped. We are really making some solid progress. The next thing to start doing, like there's little tidbits here and there, but what we need to start doing now is cleaning. There's a huge amount of cleaning that needs to happen because there's grime and dirt and crud everywhere. So we're going to clean everything. We're going to strip all the little stuff. We still have to take the brake system off. I haven't done that yet. But we got all that to do. We're going to clean everything up real good. And then we start buying parts. I'm going to fit all the parts to the bike without the motor in it. So we're going to get a batwing fairing. We're going to do the big bars. Probably 12-inch or 14-inch bars. We're going to refurbish these shocks because they still hold air. We're going to make them look a bit better, even though they're going to be hidden for the most part. We're going to shave all this stuff down. We're going to add a little bit more beef to this and probably use this the way it is. Set it up for bags. I have to remember that when I'm doing all this, I'm going to have to build a bracket. I'm going to build a bracket that comes down around back, or I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it yet. But the exhaust needs something to bolt to, and the exhaust is going to be out here a bit. And the bags will sit out here. I want to get a nice, I think I'm going to go with a two-up Mustang seat. Something comfortable, and we're gonna stay with a stock tank like I was saying, but it's coming right along. We still got to pull that fender off too. I'm probably gonna put almost tripped. I'm probably gonna put a different fender on there, fabricate a fender or something. But we are making some serious progress. All right, guys, this is Retro Freak out. We'll see you next week, Sunday at 5.